Welcome back to the Great Stories YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at how lightsabers change the story and the legacy and memory they leave behind. For example, in episode 5, Luke only has his lightsaber lit when he's actively using it to fight. In between beats, it goes away. In episode 1, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon put their sabers away in the middle of a battle because at the current moment they are not needed. Lightsabers come out when needed and are put away when their purpose is done. When lightsabers show up, things change. In episode 1, when the Federation tries to kill Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, they send a bunch of droids to kill them, and lightsabers change that. So the Federation tries to lock themselves up all safe and sound. Too bad, they're coming for you anyway. So they use the super duper doors. Doesn't matter. Episode 5, Luke escapes from the Wampa thanks to his lightsaber. Han Solo saves his life thanks to a tauntaun and a lightsaber. Episode 2, Anakin kills the Calhouns with a lightsaber. If Anakin hadn't killed the Calhouns, oh no, Padme dead. There's a lot of things like this where the story could go one way or the other, but a lightsaber determines the direction. Episode 6, Vader vs. Luke. Luke swings his lightsaber at Palpatine, which instigates the fight between him and his father, which ends by Luke throwing away his lightsaber. In episode 4, we see Obi-Wan and Vader fight again after 20 years. Obi-Wan and Vader could have fought for a while, but Obi-Wan chooses to end it on his own terms. And Luke watches as he loses the last living connection to home and family he knows of. He lost his aunt and uncle, his parents are dead, the one man who knew his aunt and uncle and his father is now gone. The only thing he has left is his father's lightsaber. His last connection to family is this lightsaber. His father, Obi-Wan, and what they stood for is with him, tied up in this lightsaber, which he then loses as he tries to get vengeance for his father and his mentor. He loses the last connection he has to his father. Or so he thought. It's then revealed that the man before him is his father, and his perception is shattered.
No, I am your father.
That lightsaber, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, is the first lightsaber we ever see on screen. We see it in episode 4 and 5, and then we don't see it again until episode 3, where we learn more of what this saber has seen and done. It was used for heroics and defense of others. It was also used for dark deeds. We learn how Obi-Wan comes to have Anakin's lightsaber. In episode 3, where we see the greatest lightsaber duel ever, hero versus hero, brother versus brother, it's also the first time we see blue versus blue in Star Wars. And it's made me wonder if one of the many reasons some of the things that Anakin does during his fall hit so hard is because of what he's using. Yes, what he's doing is really wrong, and that doesn't sit well. That's a big part of why it doesn't sit well, is because it's wrong. But also, until episode 2, when Anakin kills the Tuskens, blue lightsabers have only been used to protect and defend those who can't. And all of a sudden, we see it doing something that we would only have ever thought a red saber would do. And in episode 3, we see it again. A blue saber is used in the demise of innocents and less innocents alike, culminating in a battle against the lightsaber that could be considered its twin. The legacy and memory this lightsaber holds is immense. It has seen many battles in the Clone Wars. It saw the end of the Jedi Order, the beginning of the end of the Empire. It carries weight. Then it returns in The Force Awakens. And I must say, when I saw it in the first trailer, I was hyped. I couldn't wait to see how it was found, who had kept it all these years, and how it would continue its journey through the Star Wars legendarium. Because at this point in time, this lightsaber has reached legend status, similar to weapons from myths, Mjolnir, Excalibur, Durnwyn, and others. And in this film, they raise that legendary status even more by having it resist the dark side. And then in episode 8, they don't just toss it off a cliff, they pull it apart and blow it up. And in episode 9, they try and put it back together, to only go and bury it on Tatooine. Tatooine, the one place that Anakin and Luke tried to escape. The place where some of the worst things that happened to them happened. And that's where Disney decided to bury their legacy, deep in the sand, on the planet they wanted nothing to do with. So what was the point of bringing it back? So the lightsaber comes back in the EU. It comes back, it's used by Luke, which, yeah, the name's dumb, but the story kind of worked. And then it's given to Mara Jade, and Mara Jade uses it for a long while. And that continuation of its story was actually really good. Luke gets this lightsaber back, and then he gives it to someone who's been struggling with their own darkness, their own struggles for a really long time, and says, I trust you with this. This was my father's lightsaber, this was my lightsaber, and I trust you with it. But then here in the sequel trilogy, we see, how did it come back? I don't know. Why was somebody holding on to it for forever? I don't know. Just sat around till one day it was picked up and used for a little bit, and then goodbye, so long, see ya. It comes back for, let's see, Force Awakens, it comes back 3 days later. There's episode 8. There's like a year or something between episode 9, so it's back for like a year and a couple months. Which, thinking about some books I've read and other things, that can work when you bring back this legendary weapon, this thing that carries this weight and story to it. It's also like super magical and whatever. It can work if it's brought back for just a short time. I'm thinking right now with the Chronicles of Prydain. Dernwin's brought back. We don't actually, as the reader, we don't actually see it used that much. And the hero doesn't actually use the blade until the very end of the story. But it works. The build-up, the setup, and everything, it works really well. But with this, it kind of feels like they just threw in Anakin's lightsaber just 'cause. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm not sure how to end this video, so I'm just going to end it here. Hope you all have a wonderful week, and let me know what you think.